An exciting day for my 300C SRT8. So I've had this car about 6 months and I figured I would do a 6-month review on the car. So in honor of its 6 months here, I just entered this in a car show. Not that I was going to win, but I washed it, shined it up, let it sit outside for a little bit, drove into work this morning with it, and the roads were a little wet. Although it doesn't look it, it is a tad bit dirty, so I'm going to give it another wash today, especially with people touching it and whatnot. But we're going to pop the hood here, and if I can do it with one hand, and we're going to see the beast. So this is the 6.1 Hemi in this 300C SRT8 from 2007. You can see I've shined it up nicely. I really cleaned it nice. Nothing is out of place with the paint. It's the 6.1 Hemi, producing 425 horsepower, 420 foot-pound torque, paired with a 5-speed automatic transmission, Nag 1 from Mercedes-Benz. As most of you know who are watching this, this is based on the W211 E-Class, I believe. So it is a fantastic car to drive. As a E-Class owner myself of a W212 E550, I can say this is closely related to that car. But anyway, we're going to get to it, give it a wash, and then we're going to revisit the 6-month review of this 300C 392. Not 392, I wish it was. 300C SRT8. So as we're hopping in here, we're just backing out of the shed. We're gonna hop in our 300, just fresh and cleaned. Although it is quite windy outside today. So we're gonna hop in, turn the volume down, back out the car, and get her moving. But anyway, I am very happy with this purchase of this 300C. This isn't my first vehicle, my first enthusiast vehicle. I've had a couple, 2, 3 before this, but overall I would have to say I'm very happy with this car. For the 6 months that I've owned it, you know, with that 6.1 Hemi, the Brembo brakes, 245, 45 on the front, 255, 45 on the back, 20s all the way around. Everything works, everything runs as it should. I'm gonna turn on my heated seat because it feels like 38, I want to say right now. But for the 6 months that I've owned this, I put on a little over 3,000 miles. And there we go. Put on a little over 3,000 miles. The only thing that I did have to do, and the previous owner that sold it to me told me that, was get new brakes. So I got new Brembos for the front. No calipers, but pads and rotors. And you can see the seatbelt sign works pretty good too. So I got new pads and rotors, put those on. That was kind of expensive. I mean, anything with Brembos, you're going to have expense with. So just mind that while you look for, you know, I mean, this is a high performance vehicle, even though it's almost 20 years old. It is a high performance vehicle. So just mind that when you're going to, you know, buy one of these. But whether you get the Charger, the Challenger, the Magnum, or the 300, you're getting a great vehicle. And I guess for me, I chose the 300 because I've always wanted one of these vehicles, especially if you look in the interior here. Sorry about the passenger seat, a little dirty, but everything else, I mean, these cars are easy to take care of on the interior. Especially if this is, you know, like a weekend cruiser or like a secondary vehicle such as myself. All the materials, I mean, there's nothing really high quality about this interior except the seats these seats for a small guy like myself, they fit me perfect. The bolstering is great. You just sit right into these seats and it makes you feel like you're a part of the car, which is sweet. But, you know, also it is important to warm your car up before you whomp on it as well. And I have a little gauge cluster up here on my tuner that shows me, you know, what my engine temp is at, and I can customize it to whatever. But it is important, especially these older cars, to warm up your vehicle before you just lay into a burnout, which this car will do very easily. Warm up your car before you get it into high revs. But anyway, the car is just very easy to clean. Even though it's a large vehicle, it doesn't take long to wash outside. The interior doesn't take long at all. The trunk is massive, so you can put anything you want back there, really. And if you take good care of this vehicle, you can see there's some warping of the interior plastics on the window, but for the most part here, I keep this garaged. I don't think I've ever let it sit outside, so I haven't really noticed any warping of any other materials here, or sagging of the headliner either. You know, as long as you keep these cars out of the sun, put a nice ceramic coating on them on the exterior, you know, and take care of it, wash it weekly, you should be okay. Who wouldn't want to wash these or detail these weekly? I mean, they're awesome cars, they're awesome to be in. And I do need to interior detail this one here. It's been about a month, so again, I'm gonna do that. I like it. It's an American classic. But anyway, if you are thinking about getting one of these cars as a secondary vehicle, you know, for me, I guess I had a convertible. I had a 200 hardtop convertible when I was 16. Granted, it was V6 powered. So, you know, I was looking for, you know, possibly a Camaro convertible or an older Vet convertible. But at the end of the day, I've always been a Mopar guy, and I've always wanted a 300, and that's kind of what drew me to this car was the price of this one and always wanting one. And you know, I'm a Mopar guy, and frankly, that's what I like. So that's what I bought. For the money I paid, I mean, yeah, I could have bought a lot of newer cars, but definitely not as cool and as characteristic as this with the 6.1 Hemi in it and all the upgraded suspension parts and performance parts that the regular 300s don't get. You know, it corners great. Yeah, there's a little understeer to it, but it is a 4,100 pound massive sedan. But it corners great. The dampening is freaking fantastic. And once you get to a certain point around corners, you feel like you are in control. It has a little bit of give to it to give you some sort of confidence, but at the end of the day, you do feel like you have control of this beast of a vehicle. You know, the newer Charger Challenger with that 8-speed transmission and the 392 in it, you almost feel like you have to tame that, but this car, you just don't. My particular vehicle with this tuner is pushing out about 450 horsepower and 450 pound-feet torque. So, and there we go. And that, mind you, that's not even that much of a pull on this vehicle. I was not even close to being floored. But you can see here, the temperature raises right up. And one thing you do have to notice here, you know, be careful when you are driving this in hotter conditions and you're doing pulls. It tends to, you know, get a little warm, especially when you're approaching 80, 90, 95 degrees. This is not, you know, this isn't a car that you would want as your main vehicle per se, but it's a... Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great. Even at lower RPMs, it sounds great. And really, that's why you buy this vehicle, is the nostalgic factor of it. The fact that they don't make the 6.1 Hemi anymore. The fact that they're getting rid of V8s. The fact that you want affordable, you know, power. This is why you get that. And per se, these cars aren't necessarily very expensive to fix, as if you were getting an older Mercedes or an older BMW. So you can take it to any local shop and they will work on these vehicles. At the end of the day, it is still a Chrysler product. So you get that sort of peace of mind, I guess, if you want to stick money into it. And it is just a hellaciously fast vehicle. Oh my goodness. But honestly, after 6 months, I'm impressed. I'm going to keep it. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it at first. That's like every vehicle I have. You know, eventually I want to get a Challenger as well. You know, move into a Charger or Challenger. But at the end of the day, am I happy with this? Yes. Have I had any issues with it? No. Just, you know, normal maintenance, oil change, brakes, stuff like that. Look at that. We have a Corvette right there. That's an old shitty Corvette. Otherwise, I really haven't any problems with it. You know, I guess I would say I'm 3,500 miles into it after 6 months. I'll probably end the season with about 4,000 or 4,500 miles, somewhere around there. And that's about all I drive with my secondary vehicles. So, you know, if you're looking for a spacious sedan, big sunroof for the time, awesome kicker audio system, which has been flawless, a huge back seat, a huge trunk, and some good driving characteristics. You know, the steering, we're a little devoid of feel, but that's okay. Kind of comes with the price. But if you want some features on it, hey, I should mind you, the automatic headlights work. They still work. Automatic brights still work. They're automatic dimming too, so there's like 3 levels of brightness. They work just fine. The automatic wipers work. That works fine. Sirius XM works. The nav works. Everything works on this vehicle. You just get in and everything works. So with that being said, 6 months into it, I'm happy as hell. Happy as hell. Would totally buy a new one here. I guess I just don't know what to say. I'm just very, very, very impressed with the vehicle. Even more impressed than my E550 that I had, you know, prior to this. Yeah, there we go. It just sounds great. It's really a fantastic vehicle. Through and through. Would recommend, 10 out of 10. Mopar, no car, baby. This isn't going to be a full pull, but I just want to hear the intake noise on the car. Oh man, that sounds good. That's an intoxicating sound. That's why you buy American Muscle.